barely a week ago with an earthquake.
Matt Fry in Port-au-Prince. Well, a little earlier, Matt caught up with Bill Clinton, the former US President and UN Special Envoy for Haiti.
The question today as you travel through the city of Port-au-Prince.
Well, it is physically devastated, economically devastated. There are a lot of people severely injured and they need the health care. Today, this supply base I brought down today was largely designed to fill the gaps in the surgical capacity of the biggest hospital in the country. But it is spiritually not devastated yet. There are astonishing people, how they can be so calm in the face of such enormous loss of life and loved ones and all the physical damage. I hope that if we do this right, Haiti and her partners and the United States, the United Nations, the non-governmental groups, I hope if we do it right, we can quickly resume rebuilding the country. Go back to what I was doing before the earthquake.
There are a lot of people that you speak to downtown who can see all the airplanes landing at the airport, but have not received any help yet.
Yeah,
their patience is running out.
Well, their patience should run out. Look, it's better today than it was yesterday. It'll be better tomorrow. But here's the fundamental problem. Number one, the devastation was so complete that the sheer numbers were great. For example, I was told right after the earthquake, and I was called checking on all this, they said, well, the World Food Program has 86 metric tons of food pre-positioned in El Salvador. It sounds like a lot. How much is that? That'll feed 30,000 people for a week. We need to be feeding probably 300,000 people, if not more. If not more. So there's never been anything like this in our neighborhood on this scale. Secondly, here we were landing 3 planes a day before the earthquake. Yesterday they landed 67 planes. They're going to go to 100. That sounds great, but we need more. And then there's the bottleneck, the fact that there's no distribution system. I'm most encouraged by the agreement that Secretary of State Clinton and President Preval signed and the memo of understanding between the UN troops and the American troops to have the UN provide the security and the Americans provide logistics and distribution. They know how to do that. So we're getting there.
But if you don't see troops on the ground soon, UN or US, the anarchy that's already broken out in town, and I've seen scenes of it myself, many scenes, it's just going to get worse, isn't it?
Yes, but actually, when you think about people who lost everything except what they're carrying on their backs, who haven't not only eaten, probably hadn't slept in 4 days, and when the sun goes down, it's totally dark, and they spend all night long wandering around, tripping over bodies, living and dead. I think they've behaved quite well, and I think their spirits are good. So we need to do better. But our military guys here have done a great job organizing this airport now, and the distribution system's getting better. There's no question that it's not enough, not quick enough. That's why I say to all people, send us money, send money, because we can turn it into where it's needed and distribute it. Otherwise, if you just send goods, it's just going to be clogged up, clogged up, clogged up.
They're going to have to rebuild this whole capital city, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're going to have to reinvent Haiti from scratch, more or less.
Yes, and I think my job is to make it exciting instead of heartbreaking, to make it and to make it possible instead of a dream.
But what about the culture and the history of violence and civil unrest in this country?
Well, that's what they have to have a different response to the history of violence. The Haitian response to the physical brutality and abuse and then neglect they saw is the typical one. It's like the abused child that grows up to be an abuser. They wound up abusing each other for many decades. The Rwandan response was the right response. Don't blame anybody else. Take responsibility, tell the truth about what happened, and build a better tomorrow. That's what we got to do here, and I think that's what people want to do here. The leaders here, we've had 2 prime ministers, 2 governments under President Preval as committed to building a different future for Haiti as anybody I've ever seen. We can do this.
President Clinton, thanks very much.
Thank you.